Hello and welcome back to GuardCube. So in this tutorial I am going to be teaching you how to solve the PYRAMINX. So this is an official cubing puzzle. It has 4 sides, which are usually blue, yellow, red and green, and they come from anywhere of around £4 or £5 to the best ones are around 15. This one is magnetic and you can get it for £8 from Cubes UK. It's called the PYRAMINX and I recently made a review on it. So if you're going to learn to solve a PYRAMINX, first you need to know about the notation. So this is the letters scheme that we use to describe turns. So if you see the letter L, that means you're turning the left side. So if you just see L on its own, that means you're going to bring the left side down like that. L, L, L. Okay? And if you see L with an apostrophe, we call that L prime, then you're going to put it upwards. L prime, L prime, L prime. And then the right hand side, denoted by R, goes in the opposite way. So R on its own is upwards, R, R, R. And R prime, or R with an apostrophe, comes downwards. R prime, R prime, R prime. And then the other thing you need to know is U, which means up. So if you just see U on its own, that means clockwise, so like that. U. And U prime is anti-clockwise. So U prime or U apostrophe, U prime, U prime, U prime, U prime, U prime. So get used to them. L, L prime, R, R prime, U, U prime. The other thing to note is that the PYRAMINX has tips, which are these little bits on the top and sides and back of the PYRAMINX. So they turn on their own and they do not affect any other pieces. You just can flick them like that, so they're just a little thing that you have to pay attention to at the start of a solve. So now I'm going to teach you the beginner's method, so let's just scramble this up. Okay, so I've scrambled my PYRAMINX, and as a beginner, the first thing that you should do is just line up the tips. So you can just do this very easily by just pushing it until the colours match. So now the colours match, and then we'll do this one, push it to make the colours match, this one, push it and make the colours match, and this one, push it and make the colours match. You might have to push it twice sometimes like that, or the other direction. Once you have sorted all the tips out, the next step is to make these pieces, which we call centres, so they're the ones just below the tips, to be all the same colour on one face. So here we have 2 yellow ones, we have that one, and this one, and if we look here, we have the other yellow one. So we can just turn it so that we have the 3, or sometimes we can call this a radioactive symbol. So often it'll be easy like that, sometimes you'll have to think a bit more, but you don't need any algorithms, you just need to move the puzzle around until you get the radioactive symbol with the 3 centres lining up. The next step is to put the edges in. So first you need to find an edge that's not on the bottom. This one, here we go. And look at what colour it is, it's green and yellow. So green and yellow is here, so the edge needs to go right here. And look at the yellow, always needs to face downwards. So if the yellow is on the right hand side, then to put the edge in, we do an algorithm called a sledgehammer, which goes like this. R prime, L, R, L prime. Okay, and you will see that now the edge has gone into place nicely for us. And then you keep looking for pieces, so here's another one. This is blue and yellow slot is here, and this time the yellow stick is on the left of the puzzle. So this time we're going to do an algorithm that's very similar, but instead of starting with our right hand, we're going to start with left. So it goes L, R prime, L prime, R. And you will see that that puts the edge into place. So now we'll look for the other edge, so it's the red and yellow one, and that's their slot. So always hold it on the side of the slot, and the yellow sticker is on the left. So again, we're going to do that left hand one, L, R prime, L prime, R. Problem that you could get, as seen here, we've got red on bottom, is where there are no edges in the top layer that you can find. They're all stuck in the bottom layer, and they're stuck in the wrong places. So what you need to do in this case is use the same algorithm, either of them will work, to take a piece out. So let's say that we want to take out the red and blue piece. We just hold it where that piece is, and we can either do L, R prime, L prime, R, which will take it out like that, and just put a different one in place. Or we could do, let's say here we have the same problem. We could even start it with our right hand, either will work, R prime, L, R, L prime. So if ever you've got an edge that's in the bottom layer in the wrong place, then you still use the same algorithm to take it out, and then you can go back and do it normally. So green and red needs to go in this slot. Red is the sticker that goes in the bottom, is on the right hand side. R prime, L, R, L prime is our right hand algorithm. And then if it is on the right hand side again, we're going to do the same thing. R prime, L, R, L prime. And now the red and yellow needs to go here, but the red sticker, which is the one that goes on the bottom, is on the left hand side. So we'll do our left hand algorithm again. L, R prime, L prime, R. And then you move on to the last layer. So the first thing that you will usually encounter in the last layer will be something that looks a bit like this. So you will have some edge pieces like these, and you will have a solved tip. And so what you need to do is you just need to move the edge pieces until you see that one of them is solved. So we see that this one is solved, it's in the right place, and there will always be one that's solved if they're not all solved, which is like a skip. So when you find one that's solved, you hold it at the back, and you do this algorithm. So it starts off with the left hand algorithm that we learned earlier, L, R prime, L prime, R, and then at the end you need to add U, R, U prime, R prime. And then if you just add on a move, a U move or a U prime, you can line up these edges. So now all of the edges will be solved, and all you have left is this sort of diamond shape at the top. Now sometimes you can completely skip that step and go straight to this. For this one you can have one of two different cases. So you need to look at this diamond, so here from whatever angle. So here it's green, and where does it need to go? It needs to go here, so it needs to go to the right. So we're going to do our right hand algorithm, and it goes like this. It's a bit longer, but they're both similar, the right and left hand. So it goes R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, U prime. So you're basically just alternating R moves with U prime moves, and every other move you go R and R prime. So R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, U prime. And then the left hand algorithm is the same, but like going in the opposite direction. So this time you're going to bring the left up, so you're going to do, so if you see that the colour, the blue, needs to go to the left, then you're going to do L prime, U, L, U, L prime, U, L, U. So although it sounds different, it's exactly the same. It's up, across, down, across, up, across, down, across, and then the right hand one again, up, across, down, across, up, across, down, across. And then your PYRAMINX will be completely solved.